Yo, 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 in the bottle of rum. I had to bring that back for 2021. I'm in a singing mood. What is up, everybody? It is your boy, MM2K. Coming in hot on the mic. Y'all know how I do. I am going to adjust my audio levels. I was talking to my homie Nethos. Look, let me be transparent, y'all. We're going to talk about some stuff today, y'all. The reason why my mic is so loud is because, had an itch in my neck. I don't know where that came from. I'm so excited. I'm just itching and scratching everywhere. That don't sound too healthy. Anyway, the reason why my mic is so loud, y'all, is way back in the day when I first started doing this thing on YouTube, I'm having some unhealthy Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper, that is. The worst drink in the world. But I love it. Anyway, when I first started doing my YouTube thing with the homie Next Gen 720, he used to have like this open mic night, right? It was called the New Talent Night, right? That's how I got here. You know what I mean? Is being a broadband bully and being on Next Gen 720's open mic night, where what he would do is for his Patreons, he would have a special show. Patrons would come on, watch the show, and they would watch like new talent. And with the hopes of, trying to help people promote themselves and all other stuff, giving them a platform to do that. Well, I came on, and I think I did fairly well. They liked what I had to say and all that other stuff. But I found myself always getting talked over, And if you watch a broadband bully show, there's a lot of vigorous debate. Okay. And you can't sit and wait for somebody to give you an opportunity. Everybody has something to say. You have a panel of like 6-7 diehard gamers, and everybody feels like they have something staunch to say. So in an atmosphere like that, you can't just sit there and wait for silence, because there'll never be silence. Also, when you begin talking, someone don't care. If they have a thought, they're going to express their thought. You can't just stop in the middle of talking. Shout out to my homie King's Blood. Let me see. I'm going to show y'all how some of the sausage was made back in the day. Being in my Fortune 500 mindset, I used to be real heavy on kind communication, meaning when I would have meetings with my staff, everybody would have an opportunity to talk. You wouldn't talk over each other, all the other stuff. And I did this more or less as a hobby. So it was hard for me going from doing that from 8, 9, 10 hours a day, then coming home in the afternoon and then all over everybody. So King's Blood said, look, man, he pulled me behind the scenes pretty much and said, look, bro, don't let me just keep talking over you. Like, you got to get in this thing. You got to fight, And I said, okay. So I started doing that, right? But then they would still keep talking. And I said, why do they keep talking over me? And I found out that my audio levels were low. So I said, I got to answer to that. So I went and boosted all my audio levels up, right? And so then they were too loud. But what I noticed is when my audio levels being too loud, people started saying in the chat, hey, yo, who is that dude? He's crazy. He's mad yelling, but I like the energy. Like, who is this dude? See, and that was like months. That I was on the new talent shows and doing broadband bully shows for months before nobody even knew who I was. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there thinking I'm making an impact, and I wasn't. Nobody knew who I was. It's like, who was that dude? And, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when the channel started to take off. So I can fix the audio levels. but it's signature MM2K. Why would I do? Why? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, some people may say, "Well, MM2K, I've come across your channel. There's too much yelling. I want to listen to elevator music." Hey, look, exit stage left. There is nothing calm, cool, or collective about this content here on this platform. So, hopefully you'll bear with it. You know what I'm saying? Just step a couple feet away, 10, 20 feet away from your speaker. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Love y'all all here. We got the homie Lowland Prophet. He said, miserable Foundry had a change of heart, huh? Wow, we're going to talk about that one. The homie Shaw G, what's going on, bro? Johnny Biotic says, howdy, Cloud Gamer 201 in the house. Good to see you again, my good friend Wilson with the good vibes. Chad Davis, Chariot Man Gaming, what's going on, brother? Chris in the house. Remember, American Goulet, what is up? Good to see you. You see those symbols next to American Goulet, and then this sneaky guy, Ray Sherrod. I keep forgetting. I better show these comments. Ray Sherrod and American Goulet. You see them symbols next to them? They are members. They are part of the Stadia Dosage News member community, and they get access to the Discord, to the PNTS Discord. They get access to special videos, certain live chats, whole bunch of other stuff, and depending upon which tier you pick, you get access to our Patreon stuff. Now Stadia Dosage is what we run over here. You know what I'm saying? Just for my Stadia people. You know what I'm saying? We do our own thing. PNTS thing. We got mad love and respect for them, but we do our own thing over here on Stadia Dosage, right? But see, here's what happens. You know what I'm saying? We don't rap to them at PNTS, and we said, look, man, if these cats is giving Stadia Dosage that much support, man, we got to show them some love. At PNTS Network, they said, you know what? You're absolutely right, MM2K. So what happens is, if you get access to our Sure Shot tier, that gives you access into the PNTS Network Patreon, where there's more than just Stadia-related stuff in there, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right. But shout out to American Goulet, Ray Sherrod. I'm going to go through the whole list of all the members right now. Thank y'all for y'all support. The homie Alakazam in the house. Charles Aran. Hi. Are you simulcasting? Yes, sir. I am simulcasting on Facebook, on the Stadia Dosage page on Facebook. Look us up there. If you're a regular on Facebook, here on YouTube, and we got a Stadia Dosage page on Twitch, if y'all were not aware. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Am I the biggest fan of Twitch at the time being? No. But I'm going to give y'all all a secret when it comes to this content creation thing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? Like, have at least a drip of content somewhere. Okay, and we fell guilty of that. We haven't put anything out on Twitch in a while. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to work on that. But part of improving that effort is when I do these open mics, we're going to be on Twitch as well. You know what I mean? Because look, man, sometimes YouTube be tripping. I got to keep it jiggy. I got to keep it 100 with y'all, man. Sometimes YouTube. I remember last year. And it's Ubisoft, in combination with Ubisoft. Last year I did a live reaction to, or not, was it last year or the year before last? One of those years I did a live reaction to an E3. And, Ubisoft is always playing copyrighted content. It's always them. And then they got some type of claim on it. So I got hit with a copyright strike on my channel. Shut my channel down for 3 or 4 months, man. Can you imagine? If I was one of those YouTubers that relied on YouTube, financially, if this was my full-time thing, and there's a lot of people that do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this partnership with these social media platforms is so fragile. I don't think they're as strong as they should be. They still got a long ways to go. And my suggestion to you is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Same thing happened to Next Gen. And you know what I'm saying? Next Gen was doing his thing on YouTube. And he gets so much support and so much love that we transferred everything to Twitch and didn't skip a beat. Matter of fact, he did better on Twitch than he did YouTube. Now, a lot of people prefer YouTube because it's an easier platform to navigate. in a lot of ways, and it does better with VODs. But my suggestion is, at least until you partner with somebody, simulcast. Okay. Once you partner, then there's rules to that. You got to be careful. But yeah, that's what we're doing, bro. Carl Jimenez says, "What's up? What's up? Elk new more finette. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. My one and only New Year's resolution for 2021. Appreciate all of y'all." Fishy 9080 said, "Ready for my dose, baby. I got you. I got the dosage today." And Alakazam against his altar of people are coming over to YouTube from Twitch. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's we have a platform called the Hard Knock Digital Culture. And the purpose of that platform was to have like hardcore gaming, martial arts podcasts, and anime, hardcore anime podcasts. That's why it's called the Hard Knock Digital Culture. And there were just so many things going on with Twitch where it really wasn't a good fit for that. So we're looking at all platforms to bring that over to make that the permanent home. I mean, we still got podcasts waiting in the wind, just waiting for us to pull the lever on for more. I'm a big time martial arts fan. I'm big on certain anime, not all anime. I can't do them all, but I'm big on certain anime. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with Fist of the North Star, so I'm into that action anime. We got shows waiting in the wind, but because all the stuff happening with Twitch, we had to just put them on hold, So yeah, there's a lot of people coming over from Twitch, but I still recommend just doing something once a week, or just keeping the drip flowing, because things can happen. Like, let me give y'all an example. Let's keep it real here. This is open mic, and this is, I like to use this platform to try to educate the community where I can. And there's a lot of inspiring content creators out there, and we're going to be doing a lot to try to help you in that effort, because we got help, and it takes a village. We have a village mentality here, whether you agree with us all the time or not. It's not about that. It's trying to, people with good hearts, trying to help them grow. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I noticed is that, so when you play music on your channel, you got to make sure that it's copyright free. Because if you monetize the channel, you can get a strike, or you can just get a strike because the person don't want you playing their music. There's a lot of times I tried to sneak some music in because it was my favorite joint, and it just didn't go through, right? And I learned the hard way. So now I make sure that I use all non-copyrighted music, and I get it directly from YouTube's catalog. So there are people out there that fraudulently go through that catalog on YouTube, make fake album covers, and take all those tracks of those songs and register them with you through YouTube's copyright process. And YouTube actually accepts it. So I got hit a couple of times, and recently, and I said, hold on. These videos are on your free audio library, and YouTube, they removed the strike, but I got to finagle with this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's practices like that they haven't solved yet. And this has been a problem for years, from what I understand, and talking to other people, content creators, that yes, I can go, let's just say my homie Hell Monkey got an album and he worked something out with YouTube, and he dropped 5 or 6 songs of that album on there. Said, let people just play this music freely. It'll give me exposure. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube, I don't know what they do, if they pay him or whatever the case. But nonetheless, he allows the music to be played on YouTube with no problem. And it's in YouTube's audio library. Then let's say if the sneaky Ray Sherrod, says, oh, I got an idea. And he dips through, and he takes the same music, makes a fake album cover with a cyborg on it, and calls it Ray Sherrod's greatest hits. And then he goes to YouTube and registers those same songs that my homie Hell Monkey actually created. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So that's why I'm warning y'all. Look, I'm not trying to be mean to Google or YouTube, but I'm just saying they still got some ways to go to get the base stable. I'm telling you from experience, from doing this for 3+ years, going on 4 really. Do not put your eggs in one basket. Do some type of regular content elsewhere as a safety net, because these mugs be tripping, man, and it'll be a hurt piece. Like that could have like shut down Next Gen when they did that, and then they end up removing the strike. But it took them 5 months to do it. Took them 3 months for me. So that's my rant for the day to get everybody in. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to all of y'all. You know how I do it. I'm going to do it right real quick. I'm going to let everybody know that we are live. So bear with me as I hit up the Discords. Y'all can do us a huge favor too. Let everybody know that we're live too. We appreciate it, man. We love all of y'all. Straight up. All right, and then let me see who else. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to get right into the subjects because we don't have too much time today. I cannot be late picking up my wife, right? So we got to get out of here before 1 o'clock. And here. Okay. All right. I just want to say this real quick as a reminder. Let me see if I can go here and find the lucky sprawl sheet. See if I can find the lucky sprawl sheet. I know my French speaking people are like, what the hell did he just say? Like, man, if you don't shut your corny behind up. All right. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my friends that support the platform. Brian Evolve, Gillespie, Eddie Player One, Ray Sherrod, Christopher Torres, the gaming advocate, aka Chase, and my homie that's in the chat, American Goulet. I appreciate all of y'all. Love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for the support. And again, we can't do this without you. All right. I almost closed out. I almost hopped out of the G ride. Uh-oh. I better be careful. All right, y'all. So, we got a couple more comments. Ray Sherrod just said, I just stole this red balloon from a baby too. That's sneaky Ray Sherrod. You can't trust him. Stadia Compass in the house. What's going on, my good friend? Good to see all of y'all. Andy, oh, we got celebrities coming through. Andy Morse in the house. Shout out, Andy. Shout out to Andy, man. It's my homie. How you been, good friend? We got rap. I haven't bothered you in a while, Andy. We definitely got to rap. Andy, definitely one of my favorite people in the community. I love everybody. Don't get me wrong. I love everybody. But there's just someone that can play video games in a box for multiple days. I have a profound love for you. You want to know why? Because I want to build me a box. I want to get away from my whole family, from my cat. I want to get away from everybody. I want to be able to build a secret bunker box and be able to play video games like Andy Moore. Shout out to Andy. Good to see you, my good friend. All right. Let's do this. Let's talk about it. Did I create banners? No, I didn't. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it on the fly. I'm real janky today, y'all. Digital DF revisiting Stadia. Woo! Okay. Let's talk about it, y'all. All right, topic number 1. Digital Foundry supposedly is going to revisit talking to Stadia or doing Stadia. Not talking to Stadia, but doing Stadia content. I saw this on Reddit, right? And here's what tickled me pink when I saw this on Reddit, because this is going to be a controversial topic. And nobody's right or nobody's wrong. I just have my suggestions, and I'm gonna further explain in detail why I suggest moving this way, right? But when I saw it on Reddit, and y'all know the Stadia Reddit is my favorite place to be. Like next to Andy's box, I love to be on the Stadia Reddit, right? That didn't sound right. I'm sorry, Andy. I swear I wasn't propositioning you, my friend. Next, let's rewind that. All right. Rather, just plain period. The Stadia Reddit. Andy is filing a PFA as we speak. The Stadia Reddit is one of my favorite places to be. Why? And I don't say this to be mean, because they amuse me there. Now, this may not be, I'm not that well in depth when it comes to Reddit. But what I've noticed in the Stadia Reddit is that people love the counter narrative, right? Like I can go in the Stadia Reddit and say potato, and you're going to get 50 to 75 people to say no, patata. Like they love having a counter narrative. And I witnessed this when I dropped my Xcloud versus Stadia video, like on the hill. What inspired me to do that video was when Jez Gordon of Windows Central had put out this crazy op-ed talking about how Destiny on Xcloud pretty much negates the need of having Stadia. And again, as a common gamer, and I hate saying words like that because it sounds elitist, but for a common gamer that really doesn't do tech research, I would expect something like that. Not someone that's in the tech field that should have, done their research in and out, knowing that the Destiny that you're getting on Xcloud was totally different from the type of Destiny that you were getting on Stadia. You know what I mean? Like that was just a foolish article to put out there. So in response to that, and in response to a lot of the silly stuff that we were hearing on the internet, we did that, and it broke the internet in a lot of ways. Like it shut people up. I had some big time Xbox YouTubers come and contact me directly. Like I ain't heard from them in a long behind time. I almost swore. I ain't heard from them in a long time. They called me up and they was like, yo, MM2K, why you do that to us? Like we was on a roll, baby. Phil Spencer sent us out here to do the Lord's work and talk that Xbox propaganda. You weren't supposed to do that. They were hot. So I took it to the Stadia Reddit. I said, I've never been on the Stadia Reddit at the time. And I said, the people on the Stadia Reddit might appreciate this. So I sent it out there, and the responses, like the Xbox people, they could do nothing but be brutally honest. They said, look, we tried to do something and it fell flat because what you put out there, look, man, whatever. Xbox is still more popular. So what? You know what I'm saying? They went about their business. And they moved on from it as they should have. But when I went to the Stadia Reddit and put that video out there, the people in the Stadia Reddit were coming up with some of the most ridiculous notions that I've ever heard in my life. Like they were saying stuff like, well, it depends on what tower it pinged from, why the Stadia version was better. All this crazy stuff. And so then I just chalked it up to the Stadia Reddit was full of Xbox fanboys. They had taken over the Stadia Reddit. But then as I interacted more and more with the Reddit, I found out that's not the case. It's just that maybe it's just a Reddit thing. Y'all tell me if it is or if it isn't. If it's just a Reddit thing, but if it is, it's bashed into this counter narrative talk that they love to do. Again, you could come on there and say the sky is blue, and they'll say no, it's glowing red. They just love the counter narrative talk. They're big on that. Shout out to the homie 6996. He says, yo, I'm here. What's going on? And he said, I barely keep up. You up on the Stadia side now. Hey, bro, where you been at, man? Hey, my homie 6996 is a big Bleach fan like me, been a big supporter of not only me, Broadband Bullies since the very beginning. Him and the homie. Oh man, Neverland. What's up with Neverland? Neverland still in school? Neverland, aka now Neverland was the original mod of the year. But 6996 and Neverland used to be up in y'all think Amunor was bad? Hey yo, 6996 and my bro Neverland used to be up in my chat, just tearing it up, just land-based people. We be cracking up, man. But no, shout out to 6996. Yeah, bro, I'm on the Stadia side, man. You need to try it out. Definitely try it out. Go to stadia.com. You can do a no committal trial. Just so much easier for me, man. You know, as a gamer, I don't know if you've seen some of my PC streams, but PC gaming for me isn't all what it's chalked up to be. Yeah, you get great fidelity and all that other stuff. But it's like driving a stick. Sometimes you just want to go from point A to point B with all that, without all that, switching and stuff like that. Consoles, they're not reliable enough for me. They're not portable enough for me. They're not convenient enough for me. I'm tired of dealing with loads. I'm tired of having to deal with downloads. Stadia is perfect for me, and it's getting better and better. And hence why, arguably, whether you like it or not, I mean, there's nothing you can say to the contrary, but the biggest game of 2020, just sales wise alone, Cyberpunk 2077 plays second best as far as I'm concerned on Stadia. Now that's a perfect segue into the Digital Foundry thing. So yeah, 6996. That's why I'm calling the Stadia. Says I'm gonna give Stadia a chance. You give it a shot, bro. It's just good to see you doing well. Hopefully, bro. I'm usually in the shop. You can find. Oh, okay. Roasted King Wave. Y'all still messing with King Wave and the Triple B Discord? Dang, y'all been doing that for years. Oh man, yeah, definitely. If you're not faint of heart, and you can handle some raunchy adult content, and some gaming talk on the side. Definitely join the Broadband Bullies Discord, man. It's a how. You can just go, even if you're afraid to interact, just join and watch. It's a how. It is a how being part of that, man. But shout out to my homie 6996, one of my original MM2K video supporters. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Anywho, so I brought up the Stadia Reddit because they posted something and said, look, Digital Foundry plans this week to do a review on Stadia. And then someone commented and said, well, I bet you're going to have the Stadia stands say that, complain about their video, right? Or dog, or try. What they basically said is, if the review is short of flattering or praising Stadia, that we're going to just jump out of the scenes and just dog it. And that may be the case for some people, but ultimately, Digital Foundry being put under a microscope when it comes to this, I think is fair. It's more than fair. I mean, let's talk about it. And before we talk about it, I just want to say this. I know there's this notion that our feelings towards them and Paul Tassi and Tom Warren and all this stuff is based upon some grudge that we might have with people that don't like Stadia. Again, 6996 can tell you, as someone who has been supporting this platform or any of my platforms from years ago, I've been jumping on them fools for several years. You know what I'm saying? 6996, I don't know if you remember my video, the STFU award. I got a link to it down below in the description. As far as I'm concerned, Digital Foundry is at the crux of why gaming is so messed up in so many ways right now. Because everybody's focused on polygons, compute units, and RDNA 12. They ain't got nothing to do with the T in China as far as you getting a good game. And we saw that. I've been on these fools for the last several years before I even knew what a Stadia was. And again, just so you're aware, before Stadia even came out or was even announced, STFU award. It's a spoof that I did on Stadia. I mean, on Digital Foundry with all the grass skate and all this other stuff. They're at the apex of people taking their focus off quality content that's nuanced, that's innovative, and just focusing on polygons, compute units, and blades of grass. Gaming wasn't supposed to be just about this. And some people may say, well, it's not Digital Foundry's fault. They know exactly what they're doing. It's one thing that they do analysis, but they do comparative analysis. And they know their comparative analysis gets a lot of attention because it feeds the console wars. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. If they were just doing analysis, they would do everything individually. But they do that a comparative analysis to rile up one fanboy base versus another fanboy base. And then they sit back and play the victim. Oh, well, this, that, and the other, and the third. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for years. And never before, until they've become at the apex of people doing video game analysis, has the focus primarily been about resolution. Who cared about that? As long as the game looked good enough and it played excellently, making up my own words. But as long as it was an excellent experience, that's what made a game. And see, now what Digital Foundry does is they try to make it the crux of what makes a good experience, resolution. You know what I'm saying? And then now that because they know how to pull out the monocles and sit at the 55-degree angle when the sun's going in at this radius, now that they know how to do that, then they try to extrapolate their own critiques, gaming critiques, because of their analysis prowess, their fidelity analysis prowess. You see how they did that? Just because they're experts at counting polygons don't mean that Digital Foundry knows what makes a good game. But now they've automatically been put into that reign because, again, they've helped make the crux of determining a good game, first and foremost, resolution, which is what they're experts at. And because they were able to do that, now our focus is off of what it should be. And our focus should be on great gaming elements, new ways to game. You know what I'm saying? New storylines, enhancements, innovations. Last generation, we got none of that really. We got some great games that took resolution and familiar elements and blended them together with a good storyline, but we really got no nuance, new way to play. All previous generations, we got that. All we got this generation is more polished, or the 8th generation is more polished, prettier ways to do what we've been doing before. And I feel that Digital Foundry is at the crux of that. But they don't care what MM2K says. Like, I'm stop getting your $5,000-$6,000 in super chat a month. They're gonna tell me to fly a kite into a thunderstorm. But it's indicative of you to be educated, to educate yourself and understand what's going on and why they're doing what they're doing. Again, understanding these agendas. So I wanted to start off there and let y'all know everything that I'm about to say about Digital Foundry has nothing to do with the fact that they don't like Stadia. I could care less what they like. That's what I'm getting to, because they have an agenda that extends well beyond Stadia. If you're someone that likes to get into the technical gooblets and goblets, that's fine. But they've gone beyond that. They've back-channeled their way because they know how to count polygons and now have become video game gameplay analysis experts. No, they are not. They are far from that. 6996 says, Digital Foundry public enemy number one again. Hey, bro, they always been public enemy number one. Again, I urge all of you to copy that link. It's called the STFU Award. Copy that link. After this live stream, watch it. It's got explicit content. Look at the date of that. It's before the release of Stadia or Stadia was even announced. They've always been public enemy number one as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, good brother. Yeah, I'm mainly on this channel now, but I am going to be doing some reemergence on the MM2K video channel. But definitely, I appreciate you, 6996. Digital Foundry is that they do the thing that they like, not as what is true sometimes. Absolutely. American Goulet says, no matter what Digital Foundry says, Stadia community keeps growing and people are enjoying this. I want y'all to remember this comment. I want y'all to remember this comment. Because my homie Goulet's been in my notes. But remember that comment. We're gonna touch on that. Great comment. Great comment. All right. So I wanted to just touch on that, on why I feel the way, and I've said the things that I've said about Digital Foundry, and why, when they originally did that analysis way back in the day, let's talk about it. Why I jumped on them. Shout out to the homie Logic Police. There's a bunch of people, random noob, had to go out there and show them how to do the latency test properly, and they even quoted my homie Random Noob when Google called him up and said, look, man, y'all really muffed this up. Let us help you. You know? Now, they did the revamp video where they said, okay, we originally said that Stadia couldn't play first-person shooters. We realized that our setup was wrong. They tried to make some excuses, but the excuses were not adequate. You are some of the smartest people on the planet. It's just that your disdain for cloud gaming, which John Linneman has expressed tremendously, is what hampers your ability to want to even do any research and do any proper troubleshooting when you run into an issue. I mean, our first Stadia analysis where they said Stadia just can't run, that was horribly done. Everything prior to that, for the most part, except for Richard Ledbetter did a couple of things that, seemed spot on. But the analysis done between Tom and John was horrendous. And I think when they did the Doom analysis, that was in response to us asking them why they didn't do it at first. And them saying, you know what? Well, you want us to do it. We're going to do it. And we're going to make you wish that you never asked us, which they were successful, but it was more a hit to them and their credibility than it was a hit to us because they had to go back. Shout out to Random Noob. They had to quote him. Now, they've already said before this analysis drops, if this is true, before this Cyberpunk 2077 analysis drops, they've already said that John says from what he understands, PC is first, Xbox Series X is second, and Stadia or PlayStation 5 is third or fourth. Now, from what I heard from a lot of people, because I haven't played it on any other platform besides PC, is that Stadia is second. Even just if we're talking just solely fidelity. But at the end of the day, well, I don't want to overstep but I just want to put out there what was already said. They said that's the order that they put it. That Xbox Series X is second, and what we got to understand is that may be the case. That they may be accurate. Like overall, that may be accurate. But again, people scrutinizing that's legit to me for the simple fact of their affinity for hardware and their disdain for cloud gaming. I mean, I'm not making this up. We have several tweets out there where John just says, I don't like cloud gaming. I like collecting stuff. I don't like cloud gaming. So here are the things that I'm looking for, because scrutiny is important here, because this platform is all about the truth being told. You can have your opinion, but what we don't like is when you try to take your opinion and you try to make it fact, like you did in the original Doom analysis where you said Stadia just can't handle FPSs, first-person shooters, which was a lie. In your opinion, they couldn't handle them because you didn't do the proper setup. But you tried to make it seem like it was across the board. You didn't do the proper research to confirm if you were not just running into one-off issues. So therefore, the scrutiny is justified. So here's what I'm looking for. When they run into issues, how are they explaining the troubleshooting of those issues? Prime example, They said that their connection was good when they first made their oopsies, when they made that oopsie video for Doom Eternal. They said that their connection was good simply because when they went to the Stadia GUI, the graphic user interface, and they went to the settings, it said the connection was excellent. Any blind wombat that knows how to speak 3 words of English or of any language, that has read Green Eggs and Ham, 2 pages of it, knows that that green bar just signifies the connection from the blade to your endpoint as being great. That is through your network. That has nothing to do with your connection of your controller, especially if you're using the Stadia controller wirelessly, your connection of your controller to your CCU. And that's where they were running into problems with. They were having serious latency issues that were way too high. And if they would have done their due diligence, they would have known that before they went public with their findings. Because again, it took our homie Random Noob of the Stadia community to do his own latency tests and for them to be far less than what Digital Foundry had done. And then Digital Foundry had again to backtrack everything that they said. So I'm looking for how they're troubleshooting. That was a poor signal of troubleshooting. So if they run into a problem and they simply refer back to that or to some poor metric, then I know that the rest of the review is going to go downhill and it's going to be irrelevant. Even from a technical aspect, it's going to be irrelevant. Also, another thing that I'm looking for is if their video is going to be too product analytical over fidelity analytical. What do I mean by that? If we get too much into Stadia is just not a great experience to play this game. Stadia is just having too many issues. If we get into all that product analysis like they tried to do before, instead of just looking at the polygons and the compute units and properly measuring latency through proven means, hopefully means that are better than what they tried to use that last time when, again, Random Noob and Stadia themselves had to backsmack them into reality land. If you get too much of that, that's another signal that their video is a nothing burger. It can be avoided. Even from a technical analysis standpoint. And the last thing to take a look at, my friends, is how far they go to rebut the public sentiment about Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia. What do I mean by that? The analysis is in. Whether it's as good as the Xbox Series X or better than PlayStation 5 or better than all of them except PC, it doesn't matter. Before Digital Foundry does this analysis, people got it in their hands. You go all over the internet, go to various sites. Everybody is saying it is a great experience. And unless you have a high power rig or expensive hardware, it's the best way to play, particularly because of the convenience, the performance, all that stuff. The verdict is already out. So to answer the homie American's question, no matter what Digital Foundry says, Stadia keeps going. It really, for the average consumer that wants to know if they should play Cyberpunk 2077, you don't need to watch this. This is just a technical guru's video if it does come out. Digital Foundry has blurred the lines of just doing some technical analysis to official game reviews. They've blurred those lines. And that's why they become so as essential improperly in how we review games. This is, in other words, but let me say that in English. This is a nerd's video. This in no way, shape, form, or fashion should determine whether Cyberpunk on Stadia is worth your effort or not, even if it is good. Even if the video comes out to be a singing Stadia's praises, it's still not worth that attention. I'm saying it either way. I don't care if they're singing Stadia's praises. It's not for us to sit there and say, see, Cyberpunk 2077 plays great, but it is a great overall experience on Stadia. The verdict is already out. And even if they do sing Stadia's praises, I still don't want too much focus put on Digital Foundry. Again, Digital Foundry does nerd videos. That's where their videos belong. They're for technical analysis. They have blurred the lines because it's become financially successful for them. They have blurred the lines for their nerd videos or their tech analysis to video game reviews. No, this should not be part of video game reviews. The average consumer is concerned with video game reviews. Only the technical nerds are concerned with the technical analysis, because most of the technical analysis you're not going to know anything about unless what? Digital Foundry tells you so. Y'all know how the song goes here. So if Digital Foundry don't tell you that it's 1920 by 1080, 3180 by 1060, if they don't give you those numbers, you're not going to know what the hell it is. But that's the talk for the nerds. But what they've done again is they've taken that talk that really should only be for the nerd analysis, and they've blurred it into video game review analysis, which is at the crux of the problems that we're seeing with gaming right now. As long as I got my visuals up to par, as long as I get my frame rates up to par, I got a great game, right? Wrong. We need nuanced experiences. We need experiences with clever thought, clever ways to play, clever implementation, clever level design, and so forth. Digital Foundry are not experts at analyzing that. Those are the mainstream gaming needs. What they do is nerd talk, tech analysis. We got to, in this generation, I think it's important that we start separating the two. I'm not saying that Digital Foundry can't exist. I have no power to say that, nor no right to say who should or who shouldn't exist. What I'm telling you is, like I always tell you on this platform, put things in the proper bucket. Digital Foundry just simply has too much influence for the average gamer, because the stuff that they really are experts in don't matter to the average gamer, or won't even be recognized by the average gamer unless, again, let's sing it again, class. Digital Foundry tells you so. All right. So to Goulet's point, it doesn't matter what they say, even if it's glowing praise or not. Who cares? Let them do their nerd talk for the nerds, and let's just go about our business. But that's if they do the right thing and they keep it on the nerd talk. If they start doing this, well, you know what? It's this experience or that experience, trying to go out of bounds of what their expertise are in, and somebody wants to put them in check, hey, I can dig it. I'm all for it. It's time to put their expertise in a proper bucket so it doesn't muck up the real litmuses in gaming. And it's not resolution. I'm sorry, it's not resolution. With that said, let's go to the chat. America Goulet is great. Ray Ross is great. Shout. Christopher Torres says, Chariot Man Gaming doing better, brother. Happy Cloud Gaming says, I love PC gaming, but I know what PC gaming is going to be less important, and I love cloud gaming. Roger says, Digital Foundry said, I would have fun with Doom Eternal, or wouldn't have fun with Doom Eternal, and on Stadia, they were wrong. Absolutely, Roger, that's my point. Let's say that their technical analysis was right on Doom Eternal for Stadia, which it wasn't. It was wrong. It was dead wrong, and they had to redo it. But let's just say if it was right. Let's just say if they said there were jaggies and the draw distances. What if it was a 1v1 match and it was accurate? At the end of the day, you can't blur technical analysis with end gamer user experience overall. That's where Digital Foundry goes into no land, as far as I'm concerned. That's where they start opening Pandora's box. because that's where the money is at. If they just kept it at Nerd Talk, then you know what I'm saying. That would be messing up the cash cow. There's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. It's all about their marketing. But Roger is absolutely right. Despite the jaggies and all the other stuff that they saw, let's just say if that was the apex of the Doom experience on Stadia, people still are enjoying the game and loving the game. So that part of it alone is false. That you can't enjoy it on Doom. I mean, you can't enjoy it on Stadia. That's crazy. That's why whether they say something good about Stadia or they say bad, let them be. Unless they go too far off the reservation, they got to be checked. But even if they give glowing praises, I'm not echoing it. I'm not. Absolutely. Stadia Crumpus says Digital Foundry knows what side of the bread the butter is on. Absolutely. Look, shout out to the homie King Thrash. He comes up in here, and King Thrash is a Stadia denier, but that's my homie King Thrash, right? So King Thrash had a back and forth with Digital Foundry. I know most of y'all might know what it is. I don't agree with the issues that King Thrash had issue with, but what he exposed is Digital Foundry's MO. It's what Stadia Crumpus said, where their bread is being buttered. So you got to be very careful. If you're into the nerdistry of the tech and fidelity analysis, great. But don't go beyond that with Digital Foundry. When they start smoothing it over, blurring that line into, yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. No, that's video game reviews. They have no expertise in doing that whatsoever. Why don't Digital Foundry come out anywhere else unless I'm missing something? It's always Stadia. Because they don't like cloud gaming. They don't like cloud gaming. They've been abundantly clear about their disdain of cloud gaming. That's all. And cloud gaming, if it gets too popular, this is what they're afraid of, which to me is a foolish fear. Hold on 1 second. If cloud gaming gets too popular, Chris, then their fear is that renders them useless because they know what their expertise is. Their expertise is in hardware. They don't understand. Look, John Linneman in his review of Shadow the Tomb Raider says something that was eye-opening. You can go to Digital Foundry and check it out. He says, we reviewed the Stadia hardware. It indeed is 10.7 teraflops. He said, I can't understand why my end user experience isn't a better 4K or something. I'm ad-libbing, but that's basically what he said. I can't understand why I can get this game in 4K on the Xbox One X, but I can't get the full 4K bells and whistles on Stadia. And and he made that comment per lack of knowledge. If you did your research, John, you would understand that there is a big catalyst that plays a part in what you get as the end user, which is the codec. Them codecs, play a major part. And Stadia is still developing the codec to where you can get great fidelity without killing your bandwidth. I mean, we've had developers tell us right now, oh, yeah, my game's running at 4K 120. It's just a matter of Stadia upgrading their hardware and, codecs or whatever for you, so you can get that experience. But me, someone that can steal his wife, that's left is stealing his wife's credit card, you know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. If I can find that information, you can find it too. Y'all just don't care to find it. So those are the big takeaways from that. The homie Bippity Bop says, just learn cloud gaming hardware. I don't understand them. Games are still going to come out. They still can. Yeah, they don't care to because they're afraid that their hardware is going to go away, which is absurd, which is ridiculous. Eddie Player One says they don't understand that AI upscaling will be better than some native. Exactly. Or they do understand it, and they, because Eddie, remember, at the end of towards the end of 2019, I think it was John Linneman that said that they're going to change how they review stuff. So they expect it, they know it's going to happen, but they would rather have it happen with hardware because Microsoft is going to be implementing its AI, right, and its machine learning through the Xbox Series X. So they acknowledge it, but they don't want to acknowledge it via Stadia. That's what it is. He said, I'm swinging left and right hooks in the air. Okay. Digital Foundry been a problem with gamers all over the place this generation. And it's time that we understand what they're good at and what they're not good at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just because your mechanic is a smooth talker doesn't mean that you should have them do your taxes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. Digital Foundry said, look, we're really experts at this, but all we need is that access to you to smooth you over. And so that we can get where the real money is and start, doing your taxes. Where, again, you're not qualified to go into that realm. You're only qualified to talk about the nerd babble, the tech talk. You're not qualified to do video game analysis. And that's essentially what Digital Foundry has done. They've charmed you over with the nerd babble, and they've marketed and packaged it in a way to make it sound like, oh, they know how to do that they're experts at video game analysis too, and they're not. I know. Oh, 669, brother. I'm happy you're here. You got some stiff competition here, though, bro. Amunar, he's a PlayStation fanatic, man. He'll have you rolling, bro. See, you've been off the steam for too long. You let too many people take your belt, bro. Matter of fact, where is Amunar? We're missing Amunar. But those are my thoughts on Digital Foundry. Whether the video is great for Stadia, or whether the video is whether they're positive or negative. I'm not endorsing the video. Now, if it's a good video for Stadia, I'm not going to sit there and say, don't listen to, we as the Stadia community should understand how to parse Digital Foundry. Now, if they go out of pocket, like how they did a couple of videos ago about Stadia, then we know, you know what I'm saying, random, where you at, homie? We know we're going to have to correct that. We're going to have to fix that. But anything besides that, I'm not endorsing anything. You know what I'm saying? If it is good for Stadia, cool, because it is a great experience on Stadia. And they do have commercial access, but I'm not endorsing it. You know what I mean? All right. With that said, I want to go to the next thing. Here, let me. I'm changing banners on the fly. I'm changing. Okay. And it's great that Eddie's here too. Because Eddie was the inspiration for this one. Inside Gaming. All right. And I have to be real quick with this because again, I can't be late picking up my wife. Those of you that are not that live under, oh, look at this. Random Noob is in the house. This is the celebrity. Random Noob, I want to know your thoughts on if you caught anything that I said. Like I said, as far as Digital Foundry's analysis of Cyberpunk, because it's supposed to come out this week, I'm not putting any stock in it, whether it's good or bad. Why? Because of what we saw from them the last time, where you had to get involved. You had to get involved and you had to say, well, hold on, I'm getting this for my latency test. And then they had to talk to Google. Then they had to take to take your scripts. They had to steal your notes and redo that whole video. I would like to know your thoughts, Random Noob. Because my thing is I'm leery of the video, because if they were to get better at this, I think that they would have had to reach out to people like you. Like after that experience, I would have said, you know what? If I'm going to do more on cloud gaming, whether I personally like it or not, let me talk to the people that are clearly better than me at this. And I would have reached out to a random noob to be educated, sat some more with Stadia, to do it. And I don't know. I mean, if you can tell us, have they done that noob? Because if they haven't reached out, I mean, look, we've had what's the homie's name? Random noob is the truth. Random noob is the truth. We had one of the main programmer. What's Justin Aberti. Justin Aberti has quoted Random Noobs. He's one of the main programmers for Stadia. He's quoted Random Noobs work. Shout out to the homie Tommy Rocks 81. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you, my good friend. Thank you so much. But he's quoted Random Noob. Random Noob is the truth. So if I realize that, I made an oopsie and I don't want to get lambasted again, I'm hitting up Random Noob. I'm hitting up people on the side. I'm like, yo, help me better understand this. I mean, I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't like it, but help me better understand this. Oh, shout out to the homie Chase. Another member of the Stadia Dosage News member community. I got you, noob. I got you, noob. He says, I just stay quiet most of the time. I just don't have time. I got you, brother. I'm just saying, but even had they even reached out, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you got to say to them, look, I would love to help you guys, but I can't do it. It just time doesn't permit it. Have they even tried to reach out? And to me, if the answer is no, I mean, I don't know if you can tell us or not, but if the answer is no, then that's everything that I need to know, whether they give a positive analysis or not. Because they could be giving a positive. They still probably don't know what they need to know, but giving a positive analysis to get on our good side so they can do more analysis and then dog us later. You call it conspiracy theorists all you want, whatever. I done seen it happen dozens and dozens of times. But if I've done my research, I know that the homie, no, okay, we got it. You see what I'm saying? Look, y'all know Random Noob is the truth, right? I know I only got a little bit of time left, but y'all know he the truth. We all know it. We all know. Anyone that's been part of this community know. Anybody that can be quoted by Digital Foundry say, oops, we messed up. Let me take this guy's analysis and show you why how we messed up. Or when you have Google themselves, take this guy's analysis and say, oop, yep, whatever this guy said is absolutely right because we did X, Y, Z. My homie's the truth, right? So if I messed up and I know there's somebody out here better at this than I am, what am I doing? I'm going to them as a source. So I can get better at it because I realize there's a need to get better at this analysis. So if you're not reaching out, then I don't even know what the need is. I mean, I don't even know if you realize that there's a need to get better. Hence why I have the feelings that I have about their analysis, good or bad, personally. But shout out to the homie. I hate to put you, I know Random likes to be behind the scenes. Sorry, noob, but you deserve all that credit, bro. You know how we do here. We give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying, Ray? Noob is the truth. Shout out to Chase. Said happy Tuesday. I appreciate it, good brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Last piece before we go. Let's talk about this inside gaming thing because it's stirring up some feelings in the community. Stirring up some controversy. It's all Eddie Player One's fault. Where you at, Eddie? It's all this guy's fault. Eddie Player One's fault. All right, so inside gaming, had put out a comment yesterday about how they are going to be scaling back the show. The show is owned by Rooster Teeth, I think it is. I'm not sure the total name of the group, but they're the group behind Red and Blue, I think, or I could be wrong. RWBY, the long-running anime series, and a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And Inside Gaming is an offshoot brand of everything that they do. Now their publishing wing or the publication wing has had RW. Yep, thank you, 6996. I appreciate you, bro. He said I haven't done anything. Thank you, 6996. I appreciate you, good brother. You just caught up on it. Yeah, yep. Caught up on it during lockdown. Yep. I started watching it on VRV too. There's a lot of dope stuff that they used to do, right? But the Inside Gaming thing started to irk me. I thought it was funny when they first came out, but as time went on, it was starting to irk me because they had the publication wing had ran into some problems, or the wing that was responsible for the Inside Gaming ran into some problems. The company that bought them out let a lot of people go. It was a very sad experience. People were dismayed and all this other stuff. But then the content got a lot weaker. And one of the things that they started doing was they became part of that group that started doubling down on Stadia hate. And I don't know whose was worse. Because the top three were Yang Ye, Memecast Boy, or Dreamcast Guy. Let me stop doing that. Dreamcast Guy and Inside Gaming. And Inside Gaming definitely wasn't third, but I don't know if they were number one. Was Yang Ye was guilty of, they were all making up stuff in line and trying to assert falsehoods. But Yang Ye's biggest problem was his projection of the future, like Stadia was going to die and all this other stuff. Inside Gaming, I think, spread the most false notions. They were making it seem like that the majority of the community did not like the platform, when that was the furthest thing from the truth. And it was among other lies that they were telling. And the content was just getting more repulsive and repulsive by the day, right? And we did a couple of videos talking about it. And then lastly, they did a video where talking about Cyberpunk, where they had to backtrack their stuff, but still they came up with the same old sad line. Well, I don't like the business model. They had to come up with that same old sad line, right? That same old pitiful bar. Now we're hearing that they're going to have to scale back on Inside Gaming. Now, thanks to, I think it was Brian Chappelle and Eddie Player One who did research and found out that that the people part of Inside Gaming are not losing their jobs. They're going to still be with the company, but they're just pulling back, I guess, shows or how much content they're doing or whatever. And Eddie clarified, who the parent company is, Rooster Teeth parent company, with other shows like Fun Hall. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the people are still going to be there with Rooster Teeth. It's just Inside Gaming is taking a hit. Now, I tried to play diplomat. I look, I can't front. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. When Eddie posted this, I so bad wanted to hop on it, but I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna play diplomat. And I put out a nice comment because I thought jobs were lost, and not really. And the possibility of jobs being lost, I definitely didn't want to gloat in that, because that's kind of icky, right? You definitely don't want that. You don't want your disagreements with somebody to be that severe that you want them to lose their job. No, I never want to silence or censor anybody. I just want there to be an appropriate counter message. I don't agree with censoring people. I don't agree with it. I just agree with a more effective countermeasure. But no, my homie Eddie Player One said, "Oh no." He said, "Nah, brother, they kept their jobs." He said, "Oh no, there's not. Oh no." So I put out a tweet as a little hit piece on them. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, hey, Stadia said, they said that Stadia was going to die out, and here they're dying out before Stadia. And it's and not necessarily my tweet, but the sentiments from the community that's poking a little bit fun at Inside Gaming because of the irony of all that. People are saying stuff like, this is not cool to do. This ain't right. It's not good. It's the bad elements of the community. We've heard this spill before. And here's my message to those that may feel that way. What you're entitled to feel the way that you do and disagree with me. I'm not saying this to say that you shouldn't say what you said. Feel how you feel. I'm just saying this again as an effective countermeasure. Stop with the slow violin playing, sad song music. Like I'm supposed, just because Inside Gaming can't do all of its propaganda shows, and can't lie to consumers. Me and Eddie Player One and Chase is supposed to break out and Boys to Men, the end of the road. We're supposed to do that. Maybe grab Random Noob and Ray Sherrod. Like, no, it's not happening. And you know what I find funny? I'm going to just say this. I find funny that the elements of the community that like to wag the finger in the community, they love to show compassion to the vitriolic elitist in the game community. Oh, what's wrong with Digital Foundry? Oh, leave Inside. Those that lie to consumers, that make consumers do bad purchasing decisions, that are not upfront and honest, and those that get rewarded for doing so, for some reason, there's a sector of the community that loves to stroke their mane and make excuses for them. But in the same token, they love swinging vitriol at the rest of us. Don't say that about Inside Gaming, but when it comes to community member John Doe, oh, this idiot, bumbling fool, idiot, dumb fool, idiot. They sling so much vitriol internally at other community members, but again, love to put these elitists, these people that get free game codes all the time, they got to pay for nothing, the Yellow Chair Gang, they get all this stuff that slight us, that lie to us, that send us down the wrong path. Y'all love propping them up and making excuses for them while slinging mud at community members. I don't get it. I do not get it. I do not feel bad for Inside Gaming having to cut down on this rhetoric. No one's lost any jobs. Now, if people lost jobs, that'd be different. Especially when, on the flip side of that, there are good people that spread the truth out there who are dependent upon their platform to have success in order for them to have jobs, and they've lost, and it didn't happen, and they've lost their jobs, whether they like Stadia or not. There are good publications out there, good reviewers, good journalists out there, due to no fault of their own, that have lost their jobs. And you want me to sing it, to play the violin or play the cello for this dumb show? No. Inside Gaming failed because they doubled down on stupid. And the people get to keep their jobs. It's a win-win. Why? Because they didn't hit rock bottom and they have a second opportunity to learn, okay, we doubled down on stupid. It didn't work. Now let's go back to the drawing board. Let's be a little bit more forthcoming and honest about it with our satire. Let's actually be funny this time around instead of just piling on and just making up stupid stuff. Because regardless of Stadia, that's what the channel had become. So no, I, MM2K, am not sitting there creating a quartet between me, Eddie Player One, Chase, Ray Sherrod, and the homie Ashes. We're not going to do a quartet and sing some songs because Inside Gaming is on its way to going kaput. Everyone kept their jobs, especially in the wake of, again, good journalists, truth-telling journalists, whether they like Stadia or not, losing their jobs to no fault of their own. And again, members of the community that love propping up these elitists that tell lies to other gamers and other players and other consumers, you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why is it that I love propping these people up, but meantime got a whole bunch of artillery that I got to say about other community members? That's a reflection on you, not a reflection on us. And with that said, that's it from your boy. We're gonna go back to the chat to get your thoughts on all this. Random News said I had more time back then due to quarantine life, but now life's back to normal. I can dig it. Tommy Rock says Stadia will never die if Google chooses to keep it alive. Google has the money to make Stadia shine for years forward. Absolutely. Tommy Rock says gaming is bigger than ever, bigger than music and movies combined. Anyone who thinks Google will back out of it is stupid or just exactly. You haven't done your research. Can I call you Elknew? The homie Elknew says Inside Gaming equals playing stupid games, winning stupid prizes. Eddie Player One says you can be fun, you can make fun of others, but with facts, not with BS. Exactly. Like if what they had to say was negative, but it was rooted in fact instead of making up the lies that they did. Oh, well, I mean, whatever. I would have disagreed with them, but whatever. American Goulet says, by ignoring Stadia, gaming elitists such as Digital Foundry are also ignoring a whole community of people that don't want to spend thousands of bucks or for costly gaming rigs. And that's a great point. Now, that could be why they said, you know what? It's probably in our best interest now to get into this thing. But what I'm hoping for is that they've educated themselves because they don't have the knowledge base to do this yet. It makes perfect sense. It would be great for the community altogether if Digital Foundry did educate themselves on this. But that's my fear that they didn't. So until they've proven out otherwise, I'm not endorsing a good or a bad review. My brother says, preach. But that's all I'm saying, y'all. I don't understand. I just don't understand. And that's just, again, I'm not going against anybody's right to frown upon that. You do what I'm not into censorship at all. But again, I want people to think about that. Why do we have a knee-jerk reaction to speak so ill will of our community members, meanwhile propping up these mainstream entities that lie to people, that mislead people for clicks? Look, perception is 9/10 of the law, and that's a reflection on you if you want to continue to do that. Not a reflection on us that are calling it out. Period. And the last comment we'll take here is totally agree. And the stupid excuse I hear all the time is that Google turns off Stadia off, you lose all your digital purchase. You don't see that exactly for PSN and Xbox. Absolutely. It's just a bunch of bumbling idiocy because nobody's done their research because they don't care to. But they're going to learn today. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out for this open mic. I appreciate and love all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for y'all support. And again, if you want to become part of the Stadia Dosage member community, feel free to hit that join button. There's so many perks going on. We got a video that I'm putting out there today, Stadia community members, that you'll like. It's a lyrics to go. Again, you get access to all to PNTS content. So normally this would be a PNTS Patreon only content, but it's coming over to the Stadia members. I think y'all will enjoy this. With that said, I got to pick up my wife. Oh, I did have scheduled today Borderlands crowd play. I got to move that to Thursday, y'all. So don't get too excited, okay? We'll get into that later. With that said, I appreciate all y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.